On his very first trip abroad as Pope, Leo XIV chose a destination that literally sits between continents. The visit began in Ankara, Turkey's capital. Pope Leo stopped first at the mausoleum of modern Turkey's founder, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, before heading to the presidential palace to address political leaders and diplomats. There he urged Turkey to embrace its calling as a bridge, not just between Asia and Europe, but between religions, cultures, and even warring nations.
Indeed, a society is alive if it has a plurality. For what makes it a civil society are the bridges that link its people together.
President Recep Tayyip Erdogan stressed religious coexistence and support for a Palestinian state, while the Pope praised Turkey's diversity and urged stronger protection for families and women, a pointed message after Turkey left the Istanbul Convention. While the Pope was in Ankara, Christians in Istanbul, the old capital of Eastern Christianity, were preparing to welcome him.
The Basilica of St. Anthony of Padua is the largest Catholic church here in Istanbul. Not only Catholic faithful, but also many Muslims come here every day. They ask the Franciscan fathers who run the church for advice, spiritual guidance and prayer.
Taki czy inny powód ich tutaj popycha. Właśnie wtorek jest
and for one reason or another, they're drawn here. On Tuesdays, a priest is available in one place in the church, and all day long there is a line of people waiting to speak about their problems or to ask for a prayer.
Wielu naszych chrześcijan nie ma okazji.
Many of our Christians have no chance to go to Rome, not only in this Jubilee year, but at any time. Most are economic migrants who simply cannot leave Turkey. So for us, this visit is a great joy.
Żyjemy jak sąsiedzi, którzy się wzajemnie szanują.
There have also been tragic moments. Last year, 2 terrorists opened fire in our other Franciscan church, killing one Turkish friend of the parish.
Który był przyjacielem kościoła.
From the capital and formal meetings, Pope Leo flew to Istanbul, home to Turkey's tiny Catholic community, about 33,000 people in a nation of more than 85 million, overwhelmingly Sunni Muslim.
I'm here for over 10 years in Turkey. So here we have I'm a strong Christian. I'm a Catholic. So we have our church here in St. Anthony. Yeah, I'm an Orthodox. So I'm very happy to receive the Papa.
I love this country and its inhabitants.
His first stop was at the Cathedral of the Holy Spirit, where he thanked priests, nuns, and lay workers who keep that community alive, telling them their mission isn't to dominate, but to be, in his words, a little leaven in society. That little leaven takes concrete form just outside central Istanbul, where the Little Sisters of the Poor were preparing to welcome him.
We are looking after poor, elderly persons who have maybe very meager pension means, have other problems, and are looking for a home. So we bring them to our home here, and we try to make it their own home, feel at home. So that is our core mission, but it must be done in a Christ-like spirit.
It's a bit difficult, the life here, because as a Catholic religious institution, we cannot do what we want. We can't do any activities that we want to, or we cannot share our faith with others, because the reason is they may think we are trying to convert them. So that's why we have to be very careful. But in our own ways, we try to help them, to be with them when they are sick, dying. We stay with them.
Hospitality is a gift of this home. Thank you to everyone.
From Istanbul, the Pope boarded a helicopter to Iznik, ancient Nicaea, to mark the 1700th anniversary of the First Council of Nicaea, where bishops first articulated the Nicene Creed that Christians still recite today.
According to major experts on the early centuries of the faith, the imperial palace of Constantine, right behind me, is believed to be the very spot where the Council of Nicaea took place exactly 1,700 years ago.
Here in Iznik, at the ruins of the imperial palace of ancient Nicaea, the local archaeologist explains why Pope Leo chose a very different place to pray for Christian unity.
And this very celebration of Nicaea in the Basilica of a Martyr is a reminder that Christians in the East pay a very high price for being faithful to Christ. So for me, it is also incredibly beautiful that Leo is not coming to the imperial palace itself, which you might look for here, but comes to the tomb of a martyr, in order also to pay homage to all those who gave their lives for the faith.
Side by side with ecumenical patriarch Bartholomew and other church leaders, Leo prayed for a future in which Catholics and Orthodox might finally move from division to full communion. At the end of their service, they signed a joint declaration, reaffirming their resolve to keep walking toward restored unity and rejecting any use of God's name to justify violence. From Christian unity to interfaith dialogue, the next day in Istanbul, Pope Leo followed his predecessors into the city's famous Blue Mosque, shoes off, in a gesture of respect to Turkey's Muslim majority. But unlike John Paul II, Benedict XVI, and Francis, he didn't stop for a visible moment of prayer, despite an invitation from the Imam. The Vatican later clarified that the Pope experienced the visit in a spirit of contemplation and listening, a nuanced choice that underlined both respect for Islam and his focus on healing Christian division. Pope Leo's last big event in Turkey was a packed mass at Istanbul's Volkswagen Arena, the first time a pope has celebrated a public liturgy in such a setting here. Around 4,000 Catholics came from across the country, a reminder that this tiny minority still wants to contribute to Turkey's future.
The first bond of unity that I just mentioned is the one within this church, which in this country consists of 4 different liturgical traditions. The sharing of these differences clearly demonstrates one of the most beautiful features of the face of the bride of Christ, a Catholicity that unites.
We are a small church. We are a very small church, very small community. We feel our weakness, but as a saint Chrysostom, John Chrysostom says that if you renounce to your weakness, the Lord will not we will not be able to act in your life. We have the hope. God, Jesus is risen from the dead. We don't have. There is no fear on a personal level. We shouldn't fear for the future of the church.